Everyone had to have that.
Well, welcome. This is the
Panda
Modium,
Podcast.
Featuring
Daniel.
Levi.
Alan,
Aaron.
Kylie.
That was awesome. Yeah,
That was
I know.
good.
I totally planned that
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Okay,
thanks. I couldn't tell.
Well,
I
no,
just
we did
wanted
that all by
everyone-
ourselves.
I wanted everyone
Wow.
to know that I was awesome.
Daniel's in bed last night and just wakes up. Honey,
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 honey.
honey. You're going to say featuring at the start of the podcast.
Just like, what?
Yeah, it was on the
Featuring
way
what?
home.
All right. Well, to begin things off, we're going to start things a new way.
Yes, with the tweet of the week. The tweet of
Okay.
the week for this week, because we've become a slave to social media.
Not a slave.
Yes,
it's a
it's a slave.
necessity.
We
It's a necessity.
We see it as a necessity. Go
So
ahead,
slaves.
Levi. It was Levi's tweet.
Boom!
He got quite a few people reach.
573. I know.
But go ahead and tell him. We'll tell him what it is.
Well, all I wrote was just stumbled on Criminal Minds, now to become a recluse for 3 weeks, because that show is pretty awesome.
A recluse? Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah.
I thought it was recluse.
You could
You
do
could say
both.
both.
Tomato, man.
Blanket.
Blanket and
Actually,
blanket?
you wrote an A on there. I didn't put it.
Yeah, you didn't put. But
Because then it works better to say now to become recluse for 3 weeks.
reclusive.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
However, I gotta say, I'm almost done with season 1, and throughout the entire thing, I'm just waiting for Gideon to just be like, "My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father."
Is that the guy?
It totally is. I looked it up. That is the same guy. It was a few episodes. I was like, man, he just reminds me of him. I'm like, but that makes no sense. How in the world would that cross over? Totally does.
Really,
He filled out.
what he's really been ending for is just the end of the season. That's all I hear. Like, I just want the season to end.
Well, if you look at the cover, there's the cover screenshot. There's someone else that joins them, and I don't think he actually joins till like season 3.
Yeah.
It's
They
like,
don't tend to join quick, man.
I know, but they put him on the cover.
You
and I want to see
know,
it.
but yet you talking about how you don't know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
And-
all right.
To all that are listening, we should be full steam on our Twitter and Facebook, but go ahead
And
and
Instagram.
like us.
We're on
subscribe,
Facebook.
Like, favorite, or subscribe.
Plug. It's our podcast. We can do whatever we want.
WerePanda Productions on Facebook, at WerePanda Pro on Twitter, WerePanda Productions on Instagram, and soon we'll have a website. But
Yep. Well, by the time they listen to
We'll
this,
work it out.
you're going to
YouTube
see
channel.
our episode 1 and all of our podcasts by
Yeah.
now. So
Yeah.
definitely, if you like it,
if
Favorite,
you've already
subscribe,
listened
thumbs
to
up.
all
Show it
of
to your
that,
friends.
yeah, if you've listened to all these podcasts by
You
now,
like us.
you like us.
Go.
Like, just press a button, please.
I doubt there's anything we could say to get you off of us.
Okay.
Oh my
rapist.
gosh!
Get off me!
Get off me!
Alan!
Rape whistle.
So yeah, we talked about release of episode 1. You'll probably see it. It's a little Frankenstein. We had.
We have
I mean,
hardware
If
problems.
you've listened to our podcast, you probably heard us on previous episodes being like, "Okay, we got it done. We're gonna release it."
Yeah.
But we
No,
our
like
hard
our
drive
first
crashed,
episode,
and so-
our very first episode, we were talking about how we had just finished our first
When did you
podcast.
finish that?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was a long
a
time.
long
Was
ago.
it like March or April?
Because we finished the recording and then we did the voices and then it was just me editing and I did that as fast as
Yeah.
I could.
And we kind of stupid move on my part, but I
didn't
wanted.
back it up.
Well,
Always
no,
back
Speaking
up
of which,
the
have you
files.
sent that to any of us? Do it now.
I've done it.
Put it on the Google
Dropbox.
Drive. Oh,
Yeah,
Dropbox.
that
There
Okay.
you go.
But no, I wanted to hold on to it until we released the website. But then Aaron's hard drive crashed after less than a year.
Instant karma. Should have put it on.
Okay, instant karma. Well, what do we do
I
bad?
know,
We were
right?
waiting.
Anyway,
we denied,
We denied
the people.
people.
Anyways,
Access to our video.
It's now up again. It's better. Few scenes that are a little off because of sizing, but
Yeah.
you know,
We'll keep-
enjoy
we'll
it
keep-
for what you
yeah.
like. You know,
We'll
it's
keep
fun.
getting better.
Oh
keep
yeah,
doing
we'll
more.
definitely get there.
It's our first
That's-
episode.
That's our goal. Always be better.
No, or yeah.
I
Every
Hashtag
episode,
always be improving.
am better than that.
every episode will be more legendary than the previous episode.
I'll be constructively
I wanna
dissatisfied.
make that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, promise.
Very high standard.
But yeah, anyways,
Like,
thank you for listening.
Yes.
and a lot lately too. I've been thinking of just like pranks and pranks I've pulled on people. And so I kind of my all time favorite prank I ever pulled on someone was my friend Evan, and I had come home from work and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and we all, it was like 4 guys living in a house, and so we all came up with the rule that you can at least prank one person in the house every month. It could be whatever you want. Doesn't matter.
No holds.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so I ended up, it's a little weird. I took a
It's a
shit
little gross, yeah.
in a bag, and then I put it
A
in his
little?
car. And so he like drove, he didn't,
Oh my god.
he drove to work and then like let his car be in the hot sun, and it just baked and baked and baked.
God.
And then he got into his car and he didn't know what the smell was. And the worst thing is that I didn't even know was that he had a date later on that night.
No.
And so he finally finds the bag and he like throws it out. And
Good.
yeah, good. Good thing it was in a bag. But as long as it doesn't do property damage, it was like our kind of rule. You can't like do. And so he throws it away, and he has to go on the date. And like the whole time he was on the date, he was telling me that he was like saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, my car smells like crap. Like my friend just like pulled a prank. It was really bad and everything like that." And so it was quite funny because he comes home and he accuses each other roommate
Except you.
before he comes to me, and he was all like, "It was you." I'm just kind of like, "What are you talking about?"
But of course, Aaron
He's
can't
just laughing.
lie.
Yeah.
Worth crap.
And what's funny is they all tried to get back at me because like it was totally a dick move. So they stuck like fish in my vents and in my closet, but that same night or whatever, instant karma, I guess. I kind of like hurt my car a little bit, and so for like the next 9 days, I
You
stayed
didn't
at
even
my
come
parents'
home.
house. I didn't even come home, and so
The smell
they
gets
told
so
me,
bad.
they told me they just walked into the house one day because they completely forgot about it, and the whole house just smelled like rotten fish. And I was just like,
That's what you put in the
"Free
bag.
prank on you guys!"
Yeah, you're like,
Woo! And I don't know what my fascination is with fecal matter, I guess, but I always thought the best prank would be to like poop in someone's newspaper and then like put it back. And so when they
Oh,
open it up,
Gosh.
they get in their house, they open it up, and like they pop it open, and it just like rolls on their chest or
Oh,
flies
that's
somewhere, and it's
nasty.
like, what do you do? Like you've already let it into your house.
It's
You-
already
there's-
crossed the
yeah.
symptom.
And so like I was gonna pose the question like what was your guys' most memorable pranks, or if you've had any like.
Well, I'm
that
not
was
sick.
good. I know I am a
So-
disturbed individual. Apparently, I understand this.
He makes me question like wanting to have sons. Are all boys that disgusting? Oh my
No.
gosh.
Yes,
I like
yes,
There are a good few.
I
But
like pranks.
Some don't act out that.
I like pranks just as much as this person, but I don't like going that far.
So gross.
I
I
The fish
like
thing's
ruining
okay
someone's
for
day
me.
with my friends.
My favorite ones is either short sheeting someone or again with sheets. I've cleaned out the freezer, put their sheets in there, and they couldn't find their sheets because they never looked in the freezer.
Yeah.
I kind of wish we had done more pranks to Cade while he was with
Oh
us.
my gosh, that would have been
You
so
would have
beautiful.
ruined your
pranks.
things though.
I
Yeah,
know.
that's why I never did anything.
Yeah,
when he was
retaliation.
around. He just did not have any sense of when to stop.
You come home and you're just like your Xbox 360 smashed, and he's like, "Pranked you!"
Yeah, that's exactly what he
It's
was
like,
Acting is we
Dude,
laugh, but it's totally
That's not a
brilliant.
prank!
Key or car.
I'd key his
I'm
right
so
after. I'd be
sad I
nope,
laughed at that.
That's key.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever done any.
Never committed a prank?
pranks. The only one I can think of is when we pretended we crashed David's car. I don't think you.
Oh, yes. Let me tell
Oh,
this
so
story.
that one
Let me
apparently
tell
is
this
the big
story.
one.
This is huge.
Alan,
And
Alan
this
passes it off.
He's like, "It was
nonchalantly.
kinda
It was all
little
like
bit."
this.
This was the biggest thing in
No,
the world.
no, okay. It's funny because it was totally my idea. Okay.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So
Wait, was it your idea? I don't remember that.
That was my
It was funny on your guys' end.
So what was it? Who was it? It was Bowles, right? Who was it? It was you, me,
Felipe,
and
A group of people
it was
you don't
okay.
know.
But anyways, we were all hanging out. Kay, David, Bowles, Felipe, Alan, and I at one of Kate's houses, and we needed to go run and grab something really quick, but no, we didn't really have cars. We had all kind of carpooled there, and David was the one who had driven. So David normally doesn't let people borrow his car for good reason. You know, it's smart.
wouldn't.
It was a nice car and everything like that. But this one time, he was like, "Okay, you can borrow my car as long as you're safe with it and everything like that." So we go out, we grab the thing, and we come back.
I think I was there.
You might
But
have
I
been
didn't
too.
go with you. I stayed.
Yeah, you might have been.
Anyway.
But I ended up convincing them to pull the car kind of around the corner and call David and tell him that we had been in an accident at a certain intersection and everything like that.
Oh man.
Well, it was supposed to just be a funny prank. They were supposed to just drive over there, find out we weren't there and everything, and then come back. So we finally convinced them that it happened and everything like that. And we watch all of them run out of the house and get into the car and drive away. And we're just there laughing and having
No, I don't
good
even
time.
think we drove away because I remember I came out and you guys were like, "Hey, Alan, come over here."
Oh, yeah. No. That's right. They went out to go and check.
I had my car, so I was going to drive and
Oh,
check.
yeah. Alan went out to check. But then I called Alan over. I said, "Hey, wait a little bit. Call them and be like, yeah, something happened. You guys better get down there quick."
Yeah, because at first they thought you were just messing
Yeah,
around.
they thought we were just messing around. But then
With
I
good
got...
reason.
Yeah, I know.
Man, he called your bluff.
Yeah, but then I got Alan
But
to
you
do it.
punked him
Yeah,
back.
and so you see the rest of them come out and get to the car and drive away and everything like that. I loved it. But they get all the way down there and they call us and they're like, "Hey, where are you guys? Where are you guys?" And by that time we had kind of gotten back into the house and everything like that. And they left the door open. And so they're like, "We can't find you guys. Where are you guys?" And all of us go, "Pranked ya! We pranked ya!" And they go, and David goes, "Dude, I called my parents, and it was like 2:00 in the morning."
You were
and
like,
everything. I was
"Oh
like,
my god!"
oh.
If he hadn't done that, this would have been the
But,
perfect
yeah,
prank.
But in the end, his parents were really cool about it. I went to his house later, and they kind of messed
It
around
was
with
all
me,
my fault.
but
My
they,
mom made you cookies.
no, I
Peace
apologize.
offering.
I apologize, but they were like, "No, it's funny." And
I
everything
kind of
like
just
that.
noticed, but now I'm mad. You say everything like that so often, now I'm starting to say that.
Yeah.
Because I just said it in my
Yeah.
story.
So that's why you were like, "Oh."
And I know, I was like, "Ah!"
I noticed
I need to
it.
get away from Daniel.
I say it because I used to say things more specifically, okay? And then
everything like
everyone would start combating what I was saying because I didn't have nuance.
It wasn't exactly like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. I would say
You
I would
probably
say
didn't say everything like that, but it was exactly like this.
no. I said this. I think this is the case, and everyone was like, "Well, what about this? What about this? What about this?" And so I stopped being so specific and started, being vague about it, so that
Everything like that.
if someone comes back at me, I said, "Well, I said everything like that, so I didn't mean this specifically here."
So
Everything is exactly like this.
your sentence structure is all about covering your ass.
Exactly. 100%. That's why I do it.
Well, I kind of tell people to say, like, in a way, the same thing. Like, I pick my words very carefully when I'm trying to talk to people in, like, a professional setting or try and make people feel better or do
Usually a
things.
good idea.
If I'm with friends,
Be
I'll
very
just start talking.
diplomatic
Yeah,
about
but
it.
I'm very
Yeah.
diplomatic in almost all situations.
He's like in a meeting, like, "Faux show."
There were
I
people
want
like
to.
it.
I
had
want
people
to do
work
that.
for me
Oh.
that were like that.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh!
I hate that.
Professionalism, people.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
surprising how
You want me to do what, bitch?
we actually. I have a really good story about professionalism. the other day, Cassie, who's my coworker, emailed people saying, "Hey, we need this information from you. If you could get that to me, that'd be great." And she had a couple of the people send back, "Yeah, okay." And then one person just sent back, "No."
What?
Yeah, and it was something she needed, and it wasn't something she was like asking about. It was they had to do it, but she was asking out of courtesy and everything. So we're sitting there going, "Did he really mean no, or did he miss a word, or is he just joking around?"
No,
Type
no,
no.
no, I feel bad because I did that once at work, but it was for fun. I was trying to be joking about it.
Well, if you're able to immediately
Did you
follow it up-
text? Was it a text or email, or was it?
No, I wrote on a piece of paper like it was a list of like everything you're supposed to get done in the day, and I had done them all, but I just said no.
That's different. But
Yeah.
but yeah, in this one, like
You don't send an email. If you said no on an email, explain why. You don't just say no.
so.
No.
Apparently,
hashtag no.
apparently, what had happened was he was on his phone typing it up, and he thought he typed problem, so he was typing no problem, and the problem didn't send, and so it just sent no.
No problem was sent.
So like Cassie's like all talking to his supervisor, going, "Hey, not sure if he meant this or not, but I thought I'd let you know."
I bet that's
No.
how. Yeah, he was just covering his butt. He's like, I meant to say
No
no.
problem.
So
But it's
we don't know though.
whatever.
Yeah, it could be.
Gets off the phone. Damn it. God, I thought I had him.
He was like PMSing that moment. Like, dude, no.
No.
It's
And
like,
he's-
oh my gosh, stop asking me things.
I don't want to send you stuff.
Oh,
In the bathroom crying, I'm sorry. I meant to say no problem.
Yeah.
Please don't fire me. I like my job.
I hate professionalism. This reminds me. You remember
Did
earlier?
you just say I hate professionalism?
Yeah,
I
you did.
hate people.
Okay.
Who aren't professional. I
I
hate
strongly dislike.
I hate professionalism in the sense that the people who are professional are actually the ones who don't, who have it worse off. The people.
So you technically hate unprofessional.
Yes, I hate unprofessional. But do you remember when the police officer hit the booth arm?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so
Oh yeah.
earlier this week, Aaron and I were working on Dreamweaver.
Oh,
Okay, and a police officer hit the arm of the booth, and so the arms have breakaway bolts. So when something hits it, it
Police
comes
officer
off.
hits it.
Yeah, it was a police officer, and everything like that.
Probably
So
what was his excuse?
it came down on
He was drunk.
on the top of his car, and his car lights hit it off. And
Yeah.
so what
We-
I'm thinking happened was someone in front of him grabbed a ticket, and they were on their way through, and he just kind of pulled up and hit his proxy card, but didn't register it as a proxy card entrance.
Person.
And so he
Yeah.
tried to follow in after the other car while it was going down, and he just hit it off. But anyway, so Aaron's with me. We go out to go and fix it. It's just a matter of putting it
And
back.
it was complete chaos
Yeah.
out there.
It's like there's
People-
a line back. Everyone's like, "Where do I park? Where do I park?"
It was like
oh my
the apocalypse had just
Yeah.
started. There was people
Everything.
like freaking out, like, "Where do we park? Where can we
Everything.
park?"
And
What am I
have to-
gonna do
And I
if
have
I
to yell,
can't
I have
park?
to yell, "You can park at the student parking for free." And they're like, "I don't want to get a ticket." I said, "It's free," and everything like that. And then this guy comes up, and this guy,
The bar had not been down for like more than 3
3
minutes.
It hadn't been there. But I've dealt with this guy before. He was part of a group and everything like that. And he's an entitled SOB. I hate
Is that
him.
the group?
No, just the guy. I don't know how the group
The
was,
entitled.
The SOB club.
But anyways, he comes through and I say, "No, we're not letting anyone in right now. Can't you see, we're fixing the booth?" I said, "No, we're not letting anyone in." And he just kind of drives by and says, "You should put up a sign." And
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
"I just got out here to fix it. It hasn't been that long. Why don't you calm down?" And everything like that.
Dude,
Did you go in?
there was
No, I had
people
him turn around.
losing their mind, like their whole perspective of life had just been shattered.
Yeah.
It's just like, without this
It
game,
reminds me.
I
Their
don't
kid is
understand.
Is this possible?
That reminds me specifically of A Bug's Life, when the leaf falls down and blocks it. Oh no! Oh, there's a leaf in our way. We don't know. It's like just go around the leaf,
What did I
go
even
around
know?
the
I
leaf,
don't know. Here,
and
follow
there's
me.
the line.
The Green Twig of '98.
Yeah.
But
like, I was really
one
thinking about
mechanical arm break, and
yeah.
shit hits the fan.
And I've been really thinking about like things to change my perspective on the world, and one of the things I was thinking about, because I was talking with one of my friends at work, and he was talking about the Tesseract and how the Tesseract, like in Transformers and everything, is really just the 3D shadow. Well, it's in Transformers too.
It's
not the. It's
No.
like the
What's it
Allspark
called?
cube.
Allspark.
But like, so yeah,
Yeah.
Ventures.
But it's
is the
almost the
Tesseract.
same thing.
It's they're the same thing. Unlimited source of power, whatever. But it's just really a 3D shadow of a 4-dimensional object that we can't perceive, and all we perceive is its 3-dimensional shadow. And so, we were talking about it. We had just barely brought that up, and I was like, well, then we could all be just 3-dimensional shadows of 4-dimensional beings. And we both looked at each other, and like I grabbed my head, and we were just like mind blown. Because at the time I was just thinking,
he was
Well,
just
can we
saying it.
disprove this at the moment? Like, not that it's probably a prevailing theory or anything. It's
Let me get my
just
4D glasses.
it's
Oh
just
my gosh!
I know, right?
That would be pretty crazy.
And so because we were just talking about how 3D's create objects make 2D
2D
shadows,
shadows.
and with 2D objects make 1D dimensional shadows.
Yeah.
And then
I love that idea.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
like that.
one-dimensional shadow.
you
It's
really-
like, what?
If you really think about a one-dimensional shadow like a line.
Yeah, it
You
would
know,
just be a line.
if you have like a piece of paper,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, this is 2 dimensions. The shadow would just be a line shadow on the
that
bottom
makes
and everything
Alright,
like that.
Now I know
But-
what one dimension is.
Does it? But if it wouldn't, it's a flat image. Would it even have any width to make that shadow though? 'Cause
If say the flat
It's on
image
a
were
plane.
up, or
it doesn't. If it's true, if it's
If it's
true
truly
2D, it wouldn't be able. So it would
But what
cast
if-
its
I mean-
shadow on the other side. So if there was a point of light here, and then on the plane here,
Nobody
It would-
can see what you're
it
doing.
would cast.
well, no,
That
it's
is
so,
juicy.
in
Put
order
on
to
your
be
4D
2D,
glasses,
you could only
listeners.
be on one plane. So say you have your plane going up, and then you have a surface going in a perpendicular plane. That object is still going to be 2D, and then whatever shadow it casts will be 1D.
Like the
Yeah,
paper
I
was a
guess
bad
that's
example because paper technically isn't 2-dimensional. It's 3-dimensional.
Not
It just has a very
It would
thin,
be a line. It would.
but yeah, it would just be a little line.
Just saying.
And then if you had a line, it just doesn't really.
well, but even if there has to be a certain width for a line has a width to a width.
Let's not discuss this. Okay.
So
Isn't it weird how, just thinking back on how the bar breaks and people go nuts. When you guys were closing Wendy's way back when you were young enough and it was Christmas,
Yeah,
and
it was.
it's like,
it
sorry,
was
we're closed,
Christmas
it's
Eve.
Christmas. It's like,
You know,
what?
and yeah, it's 6:00 in the afternoon on Christmas Eve, and Wendy's. I mean, we had stayed open like extra later to service this line of customers, you know, and it's Christmas Eve, you know, and it's just this endless line of customers, and we finally have to start telling people we're closed, we're not serving food anymore. And just the kind of attitude people would give us, you're like, it's Christmas Eve, people. We want to go home to our families. We're not going to be sitting here serving food for you all day. In fact, what kind of jackass goes and orders food from a fast food restaurant Christmas Eve?
Like, was he with a family? Could you
No.
tell he was a single person?
I don't know,
That's a good point. I don't know.
but they were.
Maybe-
why would you why
maybe-
would you go to a fast food
And
restaurant?
why
Maybe-
such a nervous breakdown?
Maybe
Yeah.
he hadn't been visited by the
The
ghost of
Ghost.
Christmas
He just got
past.
the munchies. He's like, I gotta eat something. Man,
I have a tradition of going to Subway on Christmas Eve.
But what time?
Well, we check.
While it's still
we
open?
double check to make sure it's still open.
Yeah.
Like there was one time that the Subway closest to us was closed, so we had to drive like clear across the valley the day before Christmas Eve to get our order. But it's a thing.
Wow.
No, that's and I'm
Yeah,
fine
and
with
during
that.
the day,
But
we were like, whatever, we're at work, we're
yeah,
earning money and everything like that. But it's like we're closing down, and we tell you we're not
Yeah.
doing it anymore, and you're gonna give us crap.
there's
Yeah.
got to be a point where you can say, this is our cutoff. especially for Christmas Eve, we can't be working until 2 o'clock in the morning because then it's no longer Christmas Eve and we wasted all our Christmas Eve working. And so we had a cutoff time. That's the time we said, and if they didn't make it, that was their bad. And they can't be getting mad at us for it.
Yeah.
They should plan better. That's all I'm saying.
Honestly, it's misunderstandings, but that's the kind of thing that happens where it's just a small misunderstanding and they just lose it.
Yeah, and I don't, maybe it's just that, like, maybe it's not me or us. Like, I don't think the 5 of us have ever had that problem. But, like, whenever something doesn't go the way I expected it to, as frustrating as it may be,
There's nothing you can do about
I
it.
try to circumvent it and find another solution. It's like when I close up the building, okay? I have the sliding doors in the front of the building. They're literally the only doors you could not go out of once I've locked them. And yet, very, very often, students will come down, walk to those doors, realize they're off and locked, and instead of walking around to the other side of the stairs,
Which
which
are
is
literally, it's 20 feet away.
Yeah.
Less than 20.
feet. Yeah,
Like
less than
at
20
most.
feet
At
to
most.
actually get to the other
Other-
doors. You could
other
look
doors.
to your right and be like, there
There.
are double doors right there.
Yeah. No, instead they'll open it up, and then what blows my mind is, fine, you open it up, you close it back behind you, fine. But there are people who open it up
And
they
then
just
leave it
leave
open.
wide open. And I'm like, you know what? One of these days, a fire is going to happen, and you're going to run up to that sliding door, and it's going to be blocked, and you're going to die because you don't know how to go to any other door than that one.
Oh my gosh, the door's not opening. What do I do? What do I do?
Gets in the fetal position.
I don't know
People are
what to
running.
do.
What are you doing? Get out of here.
The door's not working.
Try not to cry. Cry a lot.
Well, with an idea of people just losing their minds, when I worked for Discover, every Saturday night, I mean, this is every Saturday night, between certain hours, a 6-hour period of time, everything will go down because what happens throughout the entire week is there's just so much information that's being gathered that it's not actually, I don't really know exactly.
It kind of gets gathered but not stored.
Yeah, probably not
kinda.
stored properly, and then they need to clear the cache. So they just do all that. They just kind of upload the systems. Everything's down for maintenance for just 6 hours. And people freaked out about that. Like, I need to make my payment. Well, you're already past the 5 p.m. cutoff, and your payment wouldn't post until tomorrow anyways, so you're not feeding anything.
Yeah.
And they just
Right.
refuse to understand this. Like, no, I need it in now.
But it's because they're going to be late, right?
Well, they already are late. It's too late by that point.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but like that's the point.
But
Is they
that's-
think
that's
that
their
if they
thought,
do it
yeah.
right, then they'll be able to. And that it's funny. The people who are the most irresponsible are the first ones to get angry when things
Yeah.
don't go their way. It's like, you'll never see.
You
me,
had a whole month
yeah,
to
to
pay
make
for
that
this.
You'll never see me miss a payment, and if I do, I totally just accept the fact that I
Yeah.
was stupid and do it. There's been a few times where I
I had to do that once.
You
Yeah.
can get
Yeah,
these
it was
things
just like-
removed, guys.
I don't know.
Well, I have to be
it's
like,
not-
I'm so sorry, it's my first
It's,
time.
It's
not
kind of-
credit cards
For me, it's like it's a deterrent. Like if I have to pay it,
Yeah.
it's to
Well,
condition
and
me to
that's
like
the
not do
point.
it again.
True.
It's like I feel if you do the crime, you do the time.
But that's because we understand what consequences are.
Irresponsible people.
Actually, this
Sort
kind
of
of
just more so.
Responsible people who
so
We,
Irresponsible.
Cranks.
we understand the responsibility idea.
okay.
Yeah, I like it.
when you were a car salesman, do you think that that's a job that you could stay at and be very well off to do, or is it very variable?
Little parts variable in my opinion, but the biggest thing is if you get a client base, then you're very much set
Okay.
down the road. But it's very little at the beginning, very big reward at the end, as long as you
You're
just
kind of
do
Well,
Do
I was
well, you
just-
luck out a couple times.
I was just curious because so Elizabeth got a new car because her Ford is crap.
you know.
It still works actually, but its clutch is getting to the point where it's gonna probably break soon.
We have two
And-
cars that are
Yeah.
just barely under the wire to be like sold at really well.
Mhm.
I don't know about you guys, but I always wanted to like have a car working, project kind of
Yeah.
thing. You know, maybe
I said you could do it.
I know. I
Well,
want to try to
she's
do it.
she's
Yeah.
probably going to be selling it this week, so
Okay,
she's got a lot of people.
She traded
yours.
she traded a breaking clutch for a breaking trunk.
Yeah,
Because
seriously.
if I could, I mean, I'm telling you, if I fix it up and
Yeah.
everything like that, we could sell it and you could keep the money for it and everything like
Yeah,
that.
so
I just
we'd
want
split it.
Your list is long enough, hun.
after the wedding.
But since I got my new car, no problems with it.
Yeah.
It's been nice.
Anyways, you were saying, Alan, with the car salesman.
Yeah, so she went and got the car last week, and she had been at the dealership all day, and they just kind of were pushing at her and everything. And so they let her leave to go get food, and so she stopped at the apartment, and then I went back with her. And it's funny because the moment I was there, we just got through it really fast. And I know that the reason, because it was her and her mom that were there doing it, I know the reason is like, oh, they're a couple of girls, they probably don't know what they're
Yeah,
doing.
they're so pushy,
Yeah.
you know, with certain people. You
And
know.
so when I got there, but that wasn't even the funniest thing of the night. So the funniest thing of the night was that 3 of the salesmen were all people who graduated from Copper Hills the same year we did.
Oh wow!
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Some of the jocks, I don't know. They recognized
They don't
me.
have
You
names.
realize they went
I don't
nowhere.
I don't know them, but they recognized me and they're like, "Hey, you went to Copper Hills, didn't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "We did. What? 2008, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh yeah, we all did." I'm like, "Oh, good to see you again, guys."
It's weird that you don't recognize them,
I
but they
don't.
totally recognize
Yeah,
you.
and they're like, "What? So what did you do in high school? Like, what?" I was like, "Oh, I was mostly in theater." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And you had a brother, right?
What
A
the
twin
hell?
brother.
Really?
Yeah. So they remembered us. I didn't
I
remember
mean,
them.
but
and I'm
how
like,
many twins were in your high school?
No, I know, but it's not
It's
like
but
we
was
were.
that, like memorable
I-
enough
I
that
think
the
it's
entire
a- I feel
graduating class.
I feel like no one knew who the hell I was in high school.
Yeah. Well, and
You
I've
know?
had that happen
That's
so
so
many
weird.
times where I'll meet these. I hate to say it, but these jocks from high school, and they'll be like, "Hey, I recognize you," and I'll be like,
So they're really-
I
so they're
recognize
really
you,
just nice
buddy."
people.
How did you and I get in with, or I guess you more so? I just want to know how they.
It's just weird.
I
It's
don't
funny
know,
where you see
but-
them though. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Maybe
oh,
it
so
was
what
like
you do?
so-
I'm now making it big in the car
yeah.
dealership. Oh, I've got a bachelor's in psychology. And
Yeah,
I
I
started my
Oh.
own company.
you've done
That's-
stuff.
That's what I'm excited for. Okay, call me a little vain. Call me a little, you know.
Just
You're a little vain. You're a little
But-
whatever.
I
Bet you
can't
think
wait
this
till our
song is about you.
10-year
Oh my
anniversary,
gosh.
and I can't wait for the three of reunion. I can't wait for the 3 of us to go there with this company under our belt.
That'd be pretty cool.
Well, we've earned like $1,000.
We still got 4 years.
Only 4 years though.
I know.
That's
Oh,
just
crap! I
sad.
totally thought we had more.
Maybe
Nah,
our
we-
20-year reunion.
No, we could do it. We could do it. If in 4 years we haven't got anything to show for it, you know, we might be.
Then our minds will. Then we'll have to freak out. Like,
I'm not saying we have to be super
What is our-
successful.
No, I just mean like speak for yourself. Not anything. You have me. Like, come on.
Whoa,
you
Dan.
got a
No,
trophy
yeah.
wife,
No,
and
I
now you're
meant-
just neglecting her.
I meant if
In business.
You could probably have 3 kids by that time too.
No.
no, just one more, just one more.
Can't wait till it's
You-
triplets.
No, you guys don't live with the kids.
Kids,
Azure-
you have more
Azure-
than one?
Azure is a good kid, but she drives me nuts. You know, I don't
I'd say
remember.
she
I don't remember.
drives you crazy.
Okay, whatever.
Shout out to Rooster Teeth.
I don't remember how I was at 5, but I can't. This is the age that I can't handle. The age where she knows she's doing stuff wrong, but either she just hasn't processed the fact or she doesn't care enough, and it's just like, it's one thing if things don't happen, but like this morning, like, I mean, not saying that like it's hard with her because she's got a lot of different people taking care of her,
Yeah.
so I can't do it all the time. But when she's with us, we tell her when she's eating, she needs to sit at the table. She can't mess around. You know, we don't want messes and everything like that. Well, I was having her get breakfast this morning. She had the Danimals, like the liquid yogurts and everything
we
like
know.
that. And she put it in her mouth and like tipped it back and went forward and fell out of her mouth, landed on the floor, splattered everywhere. And it wasn't like she did it over in the carpet. She was like hanging out with me in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So it got all over me, all over my shirt, all over the fridge, all over the ground. And it wasn't so much that everything was messy or anything like that. That kind of stuff happens. It was the fact that you tell the kid time and time and time again to do certain things because you know this stuff's going to happen. But then they don't do it and that stuff happens. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is super frustrating.
Yeah, like it would
I
be
would
one.
never have guessed that this would have happened.
It would be one thing if she was doing what she was supposed to, and it just
Yeah,
happened, but it'd be
exactly.
just like horsing around, and then it
Yeah.
happens. And that's the same way Dad was too.
Yeah, like if we're eating and say we're eating spaghetti and we're eating it and then it falls off just because the fork is tilted a little off and all over the floor, they'll be like, oh, it's fine. But if you're going woo and throwing the spaghetti around and everything, of course they're gonna get angry.
I'm an artist.
Look at my
Don't shut me
masterpiece.
down, Dad.
But with that being said, don't think I could handle 3 kids. I think 1 more kid is more than enough for me.
It depends on the personality of the kid.
It's not up
Yeah,
to
I
you.
don't know. Unless
Oh,
the next set of kids
this
are
is up
twins
to
or
me.
triplets, it's up to me.
So you're getting castrated? Is that what you're saying?
It's a medical
You
procedure.
know what castration
You're just
is?
blown
Yeah,
by
I
that
do.
statement.
It's called a
What the
vasectomy.
hell?
It's the only way to guarantee anything.
Okay, Alan, you get castrated first. Then
I don't need to guarantee anything. Ooh.
You can't do that, Alan. You're not black chick.
That's stereotypical, Daniel. Anyone can do that. You don't
Okay.
have to be a certain race or
Drop
color.
it.
Anyways, so have you guys seen like the ice bucket challenge?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
don't get it.
It would-
Okay, so
It's
there's
just an
no-
awareness.
promote
There's-
research for ALS.
No, ALS is the group. It's for it's like a muscle nervous thing.
But it's to support ALS's research.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I
no,
said.
there's a group of people online that think ALS is the disease they're supporting.
Okay.
I
Oh.
wanted to specify that ALS is the organization.
Why would they support a disease? That's horrible.
Go!
Okay.
Go
Get
ALS,
ALS,
everyone!
People thought ALS.
I got
was the
ALS
disease
12
that
hours
I
ago.
wanted to do.
I know. I'm just joking.
You get ALS from freezing cold water. Everyone.
Anyways, continue.
It's not that it matters, but
Unless
does
we
matter,
unless
Joe,
it's something
because
really
it's not-
funny.
it's to support ALS's research. So it is
Okay.
important.
That's the thing I don't understand. Like, is it you post
If
so
you
many
don't-
videos.
What?
You post so many videos of people dumping ice on their head. Then for every video, somebody's donating a certain amount. Or
Well,
is
it's
it
if
just
you, if
supposed
you
to-
don't
I
do
dumped
it,
ice on my
if
head
you don't
again.
do it, you have to donate.
No, here's the deal. It's just supposed
If
to raise.
everyone,
It's
in
just
the world-
supposed to raise awareness of this organization so people
Yeah.
will donate.
it was Ice
I
Bucket
would-
versus World. I've been posting things, a lot of things.
I've seen stuff.
I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah, if we had the capabilities to mathematically explain like the world around us perfectly, and we had like a supercomputer big enough, and we could
42.
and we could like play a simulation of like the Big Bang, like, so because that's the thing, we're all just kind of like star stuff, you know, we're just like atoms and everything. So if we could like mathematically just know like how much stuff was in the Big Bang and like what it released and everything, and then we just did it and like let the simulation play out, would it end up like forming worlds and everything, and would that universe be identical to our own?
Well, the question you have to ask yourself is our universe the only universe? Because if you believe in like the
But can you
multiverse,
create a universe in a
you
universe?
should be able to create a universe. In fact, some theories are that this universe was created in another universe, it happens, you know.
And what if that universe is identical to this universe, and our destiny is to just creating our own universe within our universe?
But here's the thing: that's where you have to ask yourself: is each universe identical, or because of factors such as randomness and everything like that, if we created a universe, would it really happen exactly the same way as this one? Chances are probably not. If we had a program that could run billions of universal simulations, I'm sure one of them would happen exactly like this one, but that's the point. If it's just one universe...
Well, that's what I'm saying, but if we mathematically do it to explain our universe, how our universe happens...
So I think I see what you're saying.
Would the math flow out in the universe that we're simulating to create what we...
I mean, the question you have to ask are all the variables that you have the correct ones? Because
and so I'm just saying, if we could completely understand.
If you could completely get every variable and every equation,
like the variables, are you talking about the variables of stuff before the Big Bang, or just how everything happens?
If we created a universe and it was like universe in a universe, like would that then, would the people in that, like beings necessarily, quotes, have like the same rights that we do? And like, would there people be creating like different universes and then like,
I mean, but this is
would
within
they be able to
simulation though, right?
Yeah, but like, who's to say we're not just
a simulation?
beings in a simulation?
And between all of us together, we have rights. But do you think we have rights in the people who are conducting our simulation?
That's the thing. Has anything happened to us? Perhaps there's a police force that tasks universe creation, and
Make
once
sure
a
that
universe
destiny happens in the right way.
And once a universe has been created, like you can't like tamper with it, and you have to let it do its due course or something. You know, what if we do?
So
have
are you
rights
talking
that we
about the
don't know
rights about the rights to not have those above us tamper with our lives,
or like just kill off our universe, like like destroy it?
I mean, the hard part is if we're a simulation, what you have to figure out where the line is drawn of whether we're alive or if we're just a matter of computer programming, which is always the problem. Like, because we obviously have a consciousness and think, but are we thinking because we have free will, or are we thinking because of a computer program?
Yeah, well, that would be an interesting thing if that did happen. So that's our next project. We're going to create a universe.
Yes, indeed.
In a simulation.
Well,
you start on the supercomputer, Levi.
Okay, I'll do that. Quantum computing. Alan, you're going to be one
of
of the
understand
officers.
Physics completely and mathematically prove everything.
And Daniel, this is how you take over the world. Right there.
Create your own world.
Boom.
There you go. Been working a lot with my Unity lately, so I've got Unity 3D going, and I think the next chapter in my book is kind of like starting program games, and so looking forward to that. And last Monday I was trying to do the lessons and everything while I was like looking after Azure, and it's like I cannot understand how anything ever gets done with kids around. It is almost impossible. Every time I wanted to do something, or I was even just trying to read a book, and I was letting her play a game, which should hopefully have kept her entertained. But no, I'm reading my book. I'm like right next to her, just like letting her play, and she would just always be like, "Aaron, look," or "Look, how do you do this? How can you do this?"
Look now.
And I'm just like,
Hey,
listen.
The game is meant to entertain you, not me watching you play the game, and it isn't supposed to entertain you. Because I don't know how me watching you play the game makes it more entertaining for you. When I like at least
she needs attention.
Yeah, I know, probably, definitely.
Yeah, she totally has attention issues, though. It's not like, here, you can play this video game, and I will be in the same room as you, just not paying attention to what you're doing. It's not enough. It's, Mom, look at this. Look at this. Look at this thing that I just did. Watch me jump.
Yeah.
See, I can jump. It's like, yeah, I know. Okay. I know how the game works.
Yeah.
Let me do my thing.
How much noise do I have to make before I get your attention?
I was about to say that I definitely wasn't the same way. Like, if I was playing a Game Boy, I'd rather be by myself playing the Game Boy. But there was a moment that I'm pretty sure it was Blue version, I beat the Elite Four with Venusaur as the starter Pokemon. And I thought up until that point that was impossible because it was just terrible. I got so lucky at the end. I ran down. I was like, Mom, check it out. She, of course, wouldn't have any idea what I'm talking about. She's like, you beat the what?
Do you start with Venusaur on Blue version?
You get to choose from the three.
Bulbasaur.
Oh, Bulbasaur.
And then it
Okay.
goes
Yeah.
to
No,
Bulbasaur.
I grabbed
Well, yeah.
Venusaur.
Yeah, well, I was like, he's like, Venusaur is my starting Pokemon because I thought it wasn't possible.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
you
was
thought
just
starting
one.
with Venusaur.
Yeah, I
was
thought he was
impossible.
like,
I could start with Charizard? Hell no, I'll go Venusaur.
But yeah, and I'm like the opposite, and especially with texting. You see me texting people, and it doesn't have to be anything. It could just be like, "Hey, what's up?" But like someone tries to look, and I'm just like moving it away from their face. It's like it's not private, but I don't want you to see either.
I'm surprised that people have such a fascination with like staring at people's screen and everything. Like,
Yeah,
I cannot tell you how many times, like, if I was on tracks and I'd be like reading stuff on Reddit or doing something, and I'd see the person looking over at my phone. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? This is my phone.
Do you have a phone?
What? I mean, what if I were? I mean,
I think it's because everyone's like fascinated with that what if. It's the my life sucks. Maybe you're an international spy and I look over your shoulder and I can see like these secret blueprints to Germany. And like just it makes it more exciting.
would it be
So
better
there's just
though
that
I don't know.
slight chance.
if you were playing a game and someone was trying to do that? Would you be okay with it though?
Mhm.
Because if you were like playing a game on your like tablet on an airplane and someone's like looking over while you play, would you be okay with that? Because you're like playing a game, so you know he's looking because it's probably entertaining for him to just kind of watch.
I spent an entire flight doing that with someone playing some Donkey Kong game, and he was not doing it right.
Yeah.
It ticked me off. I was like, dude, you
Halfway
died
through the
here
flight, you were just like,
5 times.
"Give
How do
it
you
to
not
me."
know? Exactly. I was like, dude, you want to get past this part? I can do it. That's kind of
"Mommy,
funny.
why is this weird guy
No, it was like a grown man. He was older than me. He couldn't do it.
playing Donkey Kong
Playing a
Country or
Donkey Kong
something?"
game. I don't know. I can't remember which one, but I just know. I think he was supposed to go down, and he kept going up and getting hit by the thing and dying.
Yeah, if you're supposed to go down and you're going
You don't go up. Kind
That's
of
right.
counterintuitive.
Oh yeah, that is
The
opposite
takeaway
on
from
the
that
same
conversation
axis.
is always go down.
Says the word.
So, oh, man.
Well, that's why she said it.
I don't know. I think if it were a game, I'd understand. But I was just like reading stuff or browsing Reddit, and I'm like,
It's because you're an international spy, man of mystery. People need something in their lives.
I looked like a student.
They're
That's what I
creating a whole
looked.
background for you. That, like maybe he's a spy student. And,
It's like he's
Maybe you're
probably
just
here to
a
steal
really good disguise.
university secrets.
yeah, I am so glad that everything bagels exist in this world.
Wait, what?
Everything bagels.
What are
They're
those?
so good. Are you
They're
kidding me?
bagels with
It's
like
got
everything on
everything
it. Like,
What do you mean by everything?
That's
everything.
everything you can put on a bagel.
So it has cyanide on it? Oh, I guess, yeah, you can put cyanide
Okay,
on it.
Everything you
everything
naturally-
like that.
like cyanide and all that. Okay.
So
It comes
cyanide,
pre-smeared,
arsenic.
and spreaded, and
Spreaded.
If you have an everything bagel with butter on it, it's so good.
I still don't know. Give me
Okay,
some
like
examples.
sesame,
There's-
sesame seeds,
they're
like
the bagels that you used to see me eat all
Like
the time. It's
sesame
just there's
seeds.
seeds
like
all
gar-
over.
garlic. I don't have any more. I ate them
He
all.
ate them all.
Because they're just so good.
Apparently,
Back to
they
his
aren't
point.
here anymore. I've been doing this kind of banana and milk like diet in a sense. Not really a diet, but apparently, if you eat 2 bananas and drink a glass of milk every day when you like wake up, you're supposed to like gain weight from it. So I'm gonna try that. I've been trying it out. I've kind of missed a couple days because it's hard to keep stock of like ripe bananas. Because if you buy them too far out, they just get brown and
Yeah.
they're not good. And so I've been doing a good job with that. I don't know. I haven't noticed
Why are you
anything.
trying to gain weight?
Because I
more muscle
want
mass.
more muscle mass.
So should you be eating more protein to increase your muscle?
Yeah, I
mass?
mean, you don't just like, oh, I had 2 bananas and a glass of milk. I'm good. But it's supposed to help in like absorption maybe of like the protein or like, I don't know, potassium's good for you, something like that. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know
you're
what
stumbling on
there's
something
something.
there. Potassium is good for you.
I don't know what. I just heard this from a random person, and so I trusted him wholeheartedly.
You know that
Hey, Aaron,
seed inside bananas?
I also have another
Where it
diet.
is?
Okay.
That would
Just
work
do it.
for you,
Just
too.
grab the whole thing.
McDonald's
So
cheeseburgers
crazy.
and a Coke every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll
That'll,
definitely gain mass.
not even just weight, muscle mass. That gets you muscle mass. And you know it's true because you heard it from a guy.
A stranger, Alan. You're not a stranger. If you were a stranger, then maybe.
Oh, so because I'm not a stranger, my word
Isn't
means
that sad?
less.
People, your friends will give you advice, and then a stranger will give you conflicting advice. And I
Yeah,
normally
Because,
see
like, yeah,
other people
sometimes,
take
yeah, they'll like, oh, my friends have been telling me this for years, but then, like,
It's
a
like,
stranger's
no.
like, no. Or even the same thing, like, you need your strangers like, you don't look good in that hat. And you're like, okay, and you never wear that hat again, but you're
But it's just so weird that a stranger's opinion weighs more in your mind than
totally.
most
If some
people's
old
mind.
Chinese guy came and told me something, I would totally
That
believe
would be gospel.
especially if he had a Fu Manchu. Like, I'd take that as, like, truth right there.
Or Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman, if you told me something.
Well, if
Which
there's
is
a
just
Morgan
sad.
Freeman look-alike.
If he was Chinese
He
with the Fu
wouldn't
Manchu,
even-
then yeah.
I don't think I'd even have to like see Morgan Freeman for him to
Just
tell me
his
to
voice?
do something. Just like his voice, if it suddenly was on like an iPod or something I was listening to on the computer, it's like, you should throw away that dress. Like, I should totally throw away this dress. Morgan Freeman said so.
Right now.
How far does
You are a
that go,
powerful
though?
and independent woman. I am
know.
a powerful and independent woman.
How far would you go, though? What if the recording goes to say, go next door and murder everyone?
Yeah.
Would you do that?
There seems to be at least a trigger.
Oh, man.
Murder kind of is like,
What
oh,
if
this
they-
guy's crazy.
What if they added "Would you kindly" in front of that?
Murder would still be a trigger to be like, this guy's crazy.
With a British accent?
Yeah, with the British
Meta.
accent.
Would you be so kind? Okay.
I
Would you
could-
be so kind as to go next door and murder your neighbour?
Yeah.
Pop the bit. Guns and-
I don't think I would do
Be a dear and get me some tea.
that.
I
See, I do
actually,
that.
I don't think I've ever taken advice from strangers. I don't trust strangers' advice because, I don't even.
If
So,
it's like,
Strangers
how many,
also
but-
like
but
not
how
really
often-
not really.
like even acquaintances.
Acquaintance, yeah.
I don't even take acquaintance.
how
like-
often do you give their advice?
More
What's
than
going
I would
in,
like.
What's going on in your life where they're like, hey, Alan, I really think you shouldn't show up dressed like that today.
No, not that kind of advice. Usually they're like, man, you shouldn't take that so personally. I'm like, I'll take that personally if I want to. It's a personal thing.
Is that advice, though?
Yeah.
Sort of, I guess.
Yeah.
No,
No,
more so while growing up.
I get that even now. Like, I'll be like, this is going on, and I think I'm perfectly justified in being upset about it. Like, oh, you shouldn't take that so personally. I'm like, what do you mean I shouldn't take that so personally?
You
I
just
just
called me
told
ugly.
you what happened. This
Oh
guy
my
just came
gosh,
over and
Bruce.
kicked me in the balls, and you're telling me not to take it personally?
That is personally hurting me.
That is my space.
Oh, he was probably just angry that day.
No
I mean, it
doubt.
probably wasn't even you.
Oh,
It's
I
like,
hate
oh, and
people-
I'm their punching
I
bag?
hate people who use that excuse like that. Oh, you don't. That it's just, oh, he must be having like a bad day or something.
It's like,
No,
That
no
just-
matter what day you're having, you shouldn't be like inflicting.
you know
pain
what
and
my
making
favorite
someone's-
excuse is? Oh, they're probably like really busy and stressed out with
Yeah.
stuff. Oh, and I'm not. I'm king of the world and have everything on my plate.
So once he takes it out on you, does that give you
the right.
the right to take it out on someone else?
No.
Is there that chain?
Because then
I-
you're having a really bad day.
Well,
circle of
See, and
Wait.
I'm awesome in
Chain
the
of-
circle of chain of screaming.
Yeah. But what was I gonna say? Because they get mad at you, and then if you were to go do it, and then that same person will be like, "Well, why'd you do that?" And it's like, did you not just tell me that like yeah, I can do whatever I want if I'm having a big stressful day. Yeah, but that was that other guy.
That's actually a really good idea. You know, just going, oh man, yeah, some guy just beat me up today. Apparently he was, you know, really angry or something. Oh, he must have been having a bad day. Don't worry about it.
Bam!
Oh, okay.
What's wrong with
Re-rank!
you? I'm sorry, I'm really having a bad day.
Just pass it on.
Pay it forward, my friend.
Pay the violence forward. That's the thing. Like, do you think our world has become less violent or more violent in recent
I
years?
think it's become more violent, but we've become more desensitized, so it seems like it's less violent.
For me at least, I think it's become less violent. There's just more media coverage of the violence because humans, for some reason, thrive on that like drama and
Well, define violence.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess wars in general, and then like
Because I mean,
Just-
if you take it olden times, everyone was hunters, gatherers. Everyone saw like guts, viscera all the time because they were killing their own food, and so
not animal violence, but like people on people violence.
Well, I feel like it's the same amount, but proportional to the population of the Earth.
Will it always be that way?
So, I don't know. But it seems, to me, it's like, yeah, maybe there's more violence, but there's more people on the Earth. So, compared to as many people as were on the Earth when there was less violence, were they still like, man, all this violence around us?
Well, and I guess
But
from
you'll
what
always
point,
think it's proportional. So if there's 1,000 people and 10% are violent, and then there's 1,000,000 people and 10% of those million are going to be violent.
Flag posted.
well, so here's
This is
my
stance I'm
question.
taking. And I'm
Here's
never
my
backing down.
question: what, like, from what point to what point are we talking about? Like, are we talking about like from the beginning of time to now, or are we talking about from like World War II to now?
No,
'Cause
there was some
if you
inhumane conduct between Aaron's Adam and my Adam. I'll tell you that much
He
right now.
collided into me and didn't
Without asking.
apologize.
He's just like, having a bad day.
We created some Higgs boson particles.
So that's where it started, huh?
Hey.
Jeez, I have you guys to blame.
And the universe happened.
All led down to this, you know, full circle.
I don't know.
Right there.
So how? Well, let's hear both your answers. What if it
Well,
was?
I mean, obviously, World War I and II were disastrous.
Oh,
to
are
the
you just
world.
saying from that time,
No,
World War
No,
I
but
to World
they
War
were
II?
disastrous, and comparatively from then, there's definitely less violence now. But if we're talking about, like Kylie was saying, back when they were all hunters and gatherers, besides little skirmishes here or there, if they were fighting for territory, there's probably very little violence among tribes and everything. So from then to now, we're definitely more
What
violent.
if we do all recorded history,
all recorded history?
like written record?
I'd say we're less violent, because I mean, you got the Crusades, you got genocide, you got World War I and II.
I was really thinking of the wars when I planted my flag.
do you want to take your flag
Nah,
back?
it's been planted.
maybe half-mast or something.
No. In memory of, maybe.
memory of the wars that were fought. Do you think nuclear weapons are a good thing or a bad thing?
Bad thing.
Good
Actually,
thing. Maybe not the weapon part of it, but
Just
nuclear.
the threat?
nuclear technology.
nuclear. I'll agree,
Yeah.
but not nuclear weapons. I got a great example of this too. Have any of you guys? No, I know you guys haven't.
Thank you.
So I just finished watching the old Planet.
Oh, I
of,
have.
the old Planet of the Apes set, the 5 movies.
Oh, how'd you get through it?
They're actually good movies.
Oh, not the
bit-
one.
The old ones are better than the new
Yeah.
ones.
Who's that? Tim Burton. Was Tim Burton's considered a new one?
Yeah, that was the new
Okay.
one. So, yeah, the original ones came out
Okay.
at the end of the 60s, early 70s. Really great movies because they focus mostly on story and everything, and so the
There was nothing
makeup's
else at
like,
that time.
well, yeah, the makeup isn't that great. There's very cheesy special effects, but you're not watching it for that. And so you have the faction of apes and everything, and then they believe that all the smart
Like a planet
humans
of
are
them?
dead. It's not a full planet, actually. It's just a colony.
That's a contradictive name.
Isn't it? It's because
Colony of the Apes.
they're the primary, predators.
They're the alpha.
They're the alpha, so it's their planet, but
Okay.
they only really have a colony. And so they believe that all the smart humans are dead,
Yeah.
but all the smart humans are actually underneath the ruins of New York, which is right where this kind of village is.
Yeah.
And they have this Alpha Omega bomb, which is the most powerful warhead ever created in that universe. And
Did they have it on display in the middle of town? There it is.
they actually had a display in a church, and
Oh
they
my
worshipped it. So it was
Bro.
like it was their god, and they worshipped it. And
Heaven forbid a stray bullet.
so this is the second movie where this is happening, and then the next three show you how all of that comes to be. So you have the first two movies, and then it ends there because the whole planet's destroyed because of that one warhead, and then it shows you what happened to lead up to those moments and why the warhead was there, what had happened, and all I saw, the only thing that I got out of that movie is that nuclear weapons are bad. Because they are. There was nothing good about them. They destroyed the world, and then they destroyed the world again.
Yeah.
I highly recommend them. Good movies if you get a chance.
I thought you were highly recommending nuclear. Oh.
If you can
Coming
get your
back.
hands on them, just go ahead.
Just go, use
Wow.
them.
Way to get the FBI called on us.
I think if we say it a few more times.
add in the Muslim little.
Wow. And you joined in. Man.
That was
What?
surprisingly good.
I practice in the mirror, You never know when this will come in handy.
Makes for a good icebreaker.
Yeah.
Well, no,
I'll
I
ever
mean,
go to the
imagine,
Middle East.
if I ever get kidnapped, I just do that, and I would assume
like,
that
"Oh,
you're
you're
one of us.
You're one of us.
Just let you go.
Vigorously nodding, making the same noise for
Just
like
like,
yes and no.
Sounds like you're just saying holla.
Oh my gosh, have you guys seen that McDonald's billboard
The
for
jalapeno one?
burger? Do you realize how wrong that placement of the A is? Because if I was going to be enunciating, like yelling jalapenos really longly, how would you yell it?
Jalapeno.
Boom! And it's not only just the A, you emphasize the O too. But anyway, theirs is jalapenos. It's just a weird holla.
It's because it's supposed to be
Hot.
jalapenos, as in holler.
Like hollabat.
Penos.
Hollabat.
Yeah.
No, it's jalapenos.
Well, that's not what they're going.
Their advertising team sucks.
With the
You're
Hitler
talking-
With
stance.
the Hitler stance, everybody.
We're talking about McDonald's.
Jalapenos.
Jalapenos.
They could put Hitler on there, and they would still probably make millions of dollars next
They'd
year.
probably make even more money with that. Because people would be like, they're messed up. Speaking of which, their burgers are messed up with the deliciousness.
No, it'd be a huge
It's like,
publicity stunt.
Yeah, it's like this guy who did. It was basically Starbucks, but he called it Dumb Starbucks, and
Oh yeah, the satire.
Yeah,
It was totally
and-
fine because
yeah.
it was satirical.
because it was satirical, and so
What?
so he made a ton of money doing it, but everything, like all the menu items were the same, except it just had dumb in front of it, and so people like to go to Dumb Starbucks because
That's
it was
so
like,
awesome.
It wasn't copyright infringement because he was being satirical because everything had dumb in front of it. So it was dumb Starbucks. You could get a dumb frappuccino.
dumb hot chocolate.
Oh
dumb
my
hot
gosh.
chocolate.
Guys, this is perfect. I have so many ideas.
Like, I didn't know I could do that. Here's
Dumb Wendy's, guys.
Here's the dumb microwave.
Hey, everyone, come to my stupid Walmart.
Dumb MacBook Air.
Dumb Apple.
Dumb
apples.
Mac.
How do you like dumb apples?
Yes! We got something.
Wait, so if we're called dumb apples, Or are we making knockoffs? Or are we just selling their products without having to tell, like...
Well, that's the thing. I'm
Making
sure he has
knockoffs.
to, like, if we could make knockoffs, then yeah, we could. But I'm sure he's not, like, buying Starbucks brand coffee.
Let's,
Just like,
let's say, stroke of luck, an Apple factory falls into our laps. And we want to sell their products, but we don't want
That would
to.
hurt a lot.
I think that happened in The Wizard of Oz. Did not end well.
Anyways,
Continue.
So, but it falls into our laps. We own it. We own all the stuff in there. We only have one warehouse worth of stuff because it's all that's left. But we wanted to sell those products at the price we wanted without dealing with Apple.
oh yeah, dumb
We
apples.
called them dumb apples. We could sell.
And our slogan would be like, how
How you like dumb apples?
I love it. Daniel,
I'm trying to remember the movie, though.
find that warehouse.
What?
The movie. Where he's like, how do you like them apples? Where he's like a janitor, but he's a really great mathematician. And it's like,
What?
I think you made it
no. No,
Is this really about you?
It has that one guy in
Those
it.
two bananas
The
talking.
one guy.
Man, Aaron, keep being this specific. We'll
Do they
figure
have
it
a
out.
female actress in it too?
Was it the
It's
one
those
guy
guys
with
who
the face?
always work together sometimes.
That did narrow it down. Compared to my idea. of
Matt
all of
David!
them.
Matt David.
Goodwill Hunting.
Goodwill Hunting is what it was. Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, I've never seen that
The
Yeah,
guy
me
with the
neither.
face that works with the other guy.
I want to see that movie though. Apparently it was really good, right?
Yeah, it was really
It
good.
was?
I like
Okay.
it.
Is
Yeah,
Ben
it
Affleck in it
sucks.
though? I'm just kidding.
No, it's okay. I need double. Now I need to go find a stranger and be like, "Did you like it?" And if they say no, I'm never watching it.
We'll just choose a third option.
No.
Because
Yeah,
Aaron apparently
yeah.
always
Yeah.
chooses a
Always
third
choose a
option.
third
The
option.
guy's like, "Yeah," I'll be like, "I hate you."
It's like I could go either way.
You tell me I can sit here or
Ask your
there.
sexual
pull up a
preference. I want
chair.
to know what you think about the movie. Sorry.
I haven't seen any movies lately. I want to go see more movies.
Well, I wanted to go see Sin City, the new Sin City.
Well, I want to see TMNT still.
Oh, did you
Ugh.
hear how many? It's like 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Good.
It was
Really?
horrible.
I
Yeah.
thought people were saying it
Yeah,
was
I heard
good.
people liked it.
Rotten Tomatoes is like so weird.
Well, that's critics.
It never.
Yeah, it's never really accurate in my
I
opinion.
don't know. Usually,
Ponyo got a 92%.
And
Oh,
Ponyo's
pretty
Ponyo
good.
deserves that.
Ponyo wasn't, Ponyo
was
wasn't
just-
as good as Azure.
I couldn't
It was
understand. I mean, it was fine because I'm like, it's kid.
for a kid movie, it's amazing, Aaron. You have to look at it as
No,
a kid
for,
movie.
Even for a
Well,
kid
isn't
movie,
he?
it wasn't amazing. There was no real villain.
That's what made
That's
it
what-
amazing.
Yeah, that's
It
made
was
it a
such
great
Why
a-
does there have to
It
be a
was-
villain,
The
Aaron?
artwork
It's
was
more
amazing.
realistic
The
if there's
music
not
was
a villain.
amazing.
I don't know, I
The
would-
story was cute,
Yeah.
but
There was
relatable.
no explosions.
Yeah.
There was a huge freaking wave with like
Is that an
golden
explosion?
Is that an
fish
explosion?
and everything. Yeah,
It was an
If
explosion
Michael
of
Bay
color.
had directed Ponyo, there would have been so many explosions.
There's
Yeah,
just like a fishbowl.
but let's be
Power
honest.
Ranger
Let's be honest.
explosions.
Michael Bay should not be directing certain films.
Like any.
Yeah.
I
As
realized
long as-
Michael.
as long as they can't
Wasn't
pull off
Michael
some
Bay
of
the
them.
one who did TMNT?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
why. But honestly, I think it's not that he's a bad director. If he just had another co-director that's like, let's not
Let's-
explode something there.
Well, it's not.
I
even-
like what you're doing, and all of your comedy we don't need to put in the movie.
Oh yeah.
But
Here's the thing.
Let's
It's
just
not
pull
just.
it back a little
It's
bit.
Pull it
not
back.
just the explosions. He's got this fetish with CGI,
yeah,
you know, and I think
it's not that bad. but-
Your face is great, but we should CGI it just a little bit right there.
well, I think CGI is cool. I
You need a dimple.
I will say this, okay? There are movies out there before CGI ever existed that I think look so much better than some of the more CGI movies
Well,
that exist now.
I
Yeah.
like seeing movies where the CGI contributes to the movie a lot, but it's not noticeable. Like you don't realize that they're CGIing everything, but it's there because then that's how you use it. It's like PowerPoint. You know, you don't just put everything you're going to say on PowerPoint and then repeat it.
Yeah,
You
sure.
utilize
Culture.
PowerPoint as an extra resource. You know, you put pictures, extra
Proper way.
information. You know, that's what they should do with CGI. The movie isn't CGI. The CGI is part.
That's
of the
how I
movie.
feel about 3D movies as well.
Oh yeah.
When you put a movie in 3D, it's not about things coming at you anymore. It's
Yeah.
about giving depth to the movie now.
Exactly.
So it immerses you a little bit better into the movie. I'm fine with, an arrow coming by my head. I'm like, oh, it was 3D.
I don't like
But-
that anymore.
I don't either.
It was a novelty back when, like, it was like the 4D movies where you were like, it was like a ride or something like that. But when
Yeah.
I'm going to a movie theater to enjoy a movie, I don't want things flying at my face.
I know, seriously.
It would be
Yeah.
cool if the 3D effect like just made it look like they were a play. It was like a play.
Yeah,
It
on
was like a
stage.
stage.
When I went
want
and
the
saw,
3D to make it look like you're wearing Oculus Rifts, so you can like.
It would be cool if it was a 4D movie where it was so much stuff around you that you're missing elements because you need to walk forward into this building or else you wouldn't be catching the right scene. But you're out here
I
catching
want
this part of a
an
scene.
entire movie theater devoted to one person with like fans in my face. If it's
Yeah.
raining, I want rain coming down.
Can't you imagine?
An
Falls
orchestra
into it.
underneath.
Falls into a bit. What the fuck?
you're just walking around, it's silent, and all of a sudden you hear the orchestra.
He runs back. He's like, screw it. Could you imagine the first person? Like, what do you think? You guys are crazy!
Like,
What the fuck is wrong with you?
what if they somehow like film like a full 3D movie? Because I know there's like 3D cameras, and so
Yeah.
you can do like 3D films. But the entire movie is in 3D. I mean, like, is 360. I mean, 360 degrees, and so you can kind of look wherever you want,
Yeah.
and there's stuff happening all around you. Like if you're in a war scene, you're like standing right
Look
in the middle,
around.
and explosions are happening
I
all
love
over
that.
you, and battle scene, like people are battling, and you can focus in on the different people that are battling.
That's
That'd be
what
so
I'm meaning. That would be just incredible. That would be a movie I'd pay $20 for. Don't quote me on that though, because if they do,
It's
that's
not
what
going to
it's.
be $20, dude.
Oh, thank goodness.
It's going to be a lot more. So don't, oh, thank goodness.
We always there was the planetarium, and they had the big dome, and they
Yeah.
projected stuff, and I always like wanted to go and just play like Xbox 360 on it or something like that.
I feel like
Look
that
it
would
up.
be really horrible, actually, because you
Where
think
were
about
you?
how convex
I'm
it
that
is.
big pixel right there.
I mean, think about the convex. You'd be sitting there, so like you'll see that, but then it convexes everything, and so everything looks so weird to your side. So you'll
Your
rotate.
character is right in your face. You're like,
Yeah.
all right, that's to my right. That's to my left.
So like you want to look. Say you're playing a first-person shooter, you'll see your reticle here, and it's like, oh, where's my
That would
The
make,
reticle
that would
is
make
so
sniping
big.
so
There's-
perfect.
there's
You're
my-
like,
there's
well, that's
my-
definitely your head.
there's right over there is my radar. Oh, and okay, here's my ammo. I gotta make sure I keep track of that. Oh.
I would be one of those, like, it would just be too immersive for me that I'd be like, reload! try to touch it. Look down at my arm. Oh, my radar isn't there. It's right there.
I don't know. I always wanted to. Have you guys ever been to one of the laser light shows at the planetarium?
May have a long time ago.
We tried to go once, and the lasers weren't working.
How do you have a laser light show without lasers?
Exactly.
Just
a
That's
light
the same
show.
question.
Light
we
show?
all
They were
had.
like turning the light on and off.
$13 for this.
No, you know what the worst part is? We couldn't get a refund or another ticket because they said it isn't our fault or it's not our fault that the equipment malfunctioned. It's just a risk of going to the laser light
We're
show.
Like,
providing you a
bullshit.
service.
Yeah,
You should just be like,
promising a show.
whose fault is it then, so I can yell at them?
yeah,
Get them
seriously.
to pay for my ticket.
I was so pissed off.
That's
Dude,
such crap.
That's weird too.
That's one of those
'Cause, like-
days where I would be having a bad day.
If you're smelling anything, it's just because like the particles are going into your nose. So can we be like smelling light right now since light functions
Yeah.
as a particle and
Yeah.
a wave?
I was talking to Nick about this. Our senses are just what our brain interprets.
Yeah.
So that's why people are able to hear colors and see sounds, is because your brain is just mixed up one way that it actually processes the data.
Yeah,
So
I see like waves coming
Well,
out of your
I
brain
mean,
when you talk.
And one of the big things with that is like you'll be able to see like sound, but you won't be able to interpret it the same way because your eyes aren't built to interpret sound. They're built to interpret light,
Yeah.
and so
But
you'll
you're
see
definitely-
it,
yeah.
but you're not getting the same
that's
message
what's so
in your brain.
crazy
Yeah, right.
about it. Because your brain is so incredible that you're really like your senses without. When I was talking to Nick about it, we were just like,
you guys realize
geeking out so
we're
much.
flesh robots, essentially.
Yeah.
yeah.
And with that new discovery of the quantum level processing in our brain, I mean, that makes us even more like computers.
Wow, Alan. You had to bring that up.
Well,
I
yeah,
did.
There was
It's a great thing.
just-
there was a picture where
I
they
thought
show
we
like the
determined it
gives new
wasn't
meaning to
real.
sex
The-
bots.
the infrastructure of the internet, the universe, and like brain like neuron pathways, and they like look almost identical
Mhm.
because
Cool.
it's a network of just electrical impulses or just things passing through each
Yeah.
other, and like I had never thought of it, but I had heard that like when blind people dream, they just like see waves or
For sure,
something
they have
like
to be able to
they
dream.
have to be able to dream,
But
but
they're
like
not seeing
they
anything,
don't. I
really.
don't know how you explained it, but like you can like touch a banana and you can see like
So-
you can feel the shape, and then
Yeah,
like,
so
it's just
Think-
like something
like
permeating. Like they can
Daredevil?
kind of create, something like that. Like they can create their own image for it while they dream, and it's just kind of like how they process.
wouldn't that be so weird if it's a blind guy like all his life and he's like, well, you were there. And then this airplane is just like, what?
It's like, because like you can close your eyes and try to draw like what you picture to be an airplane, and so he's like, this airplane, man. You're like, looking
what?
at it. This is what an airplane looks like to you.
Seriously though, the brain is so cool. If
Mhm.
I was more disciplined, I'd go into neuroscience.
Yeah.
And if I have unlimited resources.
Yeah.
So,
Discipline's not your only problem there.
Did I tell you guys I
You're-
looked into becoming a psychiatrist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Like,
like
you
many
did,
times.
you didn't do
I
that
just-
before you got the degree in psychology?
I wasn't getting the degree to
Psych-
practice
psychology.
psychology.
Psychiatry. You see the.
You'd be kind of psychotic
You get it.
not
You get
to.
it. Oh! Yeah!
Anyways,
I love that.
That's the
Panda.
No, that's the
Panda.
Ammonium,
podcast.
Featuring
Daniel.
Alan.
Aaron.
Kylie.
Yeah, it was! Alright, see you guys. Watch Criminal Minds.